Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Nasser here. We're going to be having a quick revision for the number system, which you're going to, inshallah, face tomorrow in your exam. I hope you the best of luck, inshallah, IG students. So let's go through the most important questions that might come in the exam for number system in paper 1. But before we go through that, we need to go through the basics and, for example, the signs, for instance. When we have minus times minus, you will know that it's plus. When you have plus times minus or the opposite, it's always minus. You have opposite signs and multiplication there. And obviously plus times plus is plus. For example, when we have minus 2 times 4, it's going to be obviously minus 8. But minus 2 times minus 4, it is going to be, since there is multiplication, it is going to be 8 because minus times minus is plus. But when we have minus 2, minus 4, here we're going to add, but we're going to put the negative sign, so minus 6. And when we have 2 minus minus 4, since the two signs are beside each other and there is nothing between them, actually there is, it's multiplication. So when you minus times minus is going to become plus. So 2 plus 4 is simply 6. So you need to know the difference here, guys. Going through the rules of indices, for example, when you have x power to something, let's say power 1, okay, times it with x power 2. We're going to add the powers as simple as that because there's multiplication and you have the same term. Be careful. This only happens when you have the same term. For example, when you have, for example, x power 1 and y power 2, we cannot add the powers because they're not the same term. And similarly with numbers, they have to be the same thing. And then you write the term as it is. And you add 1 plus 1 plus 2, and you show that as I did now, x power 3. And when we have the exact opposite, which is when you're dealing with division, you're going to do subtraction. So 4 minus 2, so it's going to be x power 4 minus 2, which is going to be x power 2. And another thing you should bear in mind, when we have 3 powered by 4, these two are going to be multiplied, so x equals 3 times 4, which is going to be x power 12. The square root of x, okay, here, what does it mean? It means x power half and similarly the opposite. X power half and similarly the opposite, be careful with that. So this part here is called the top, okay, and this part is called the bottom. The top has the power, or gives us the power, and the bottom gives us the root. Okay, so in this case, the root obviously is a squared, because we don't write 2 usually here, guys, but it is a squared, and the power is 1, so we don't have to write it there, but we can. It will not affect the answer. So when we have x power 2/3, I will know for a fact that my power will be by 2, and my root is going to be cubic, which is powered by 3, which is similarly like writing the cubic root of x, all powered by 2. So this is the meaning of this. Okay? So yeah, we went through that. And well, there is something that most students forget, that anything powered to 0 equals 1. Okay? Anything powered to 0 equals to 1. That's really, really important. As for fractions, guys, okay? The fractions, we have a lot of types of fractions. We have the proper, we have the improper, and we have the mixed fractions, okay? In addition, we have to make the same denominators. Similarly in subtraction, you cannot do anything without making the same denominators. When you change the denominator, you're gonna use the same multiplier you used on the numerator side. So that's really important. So we're gonna see that right now, inshallah. Okay, and the improper, so that's a proper, which is the normal fraction. Okay, which is the normal fraction when we have numerator smaller than denominator, that's a proper fraction. But when you have the opposite, 4/3, numerator bigger than denominator, that's called improper, you guys. Improper, and the improper can be changed to mixed number, and mixed number can be changed to improper fraction. And yeah, in multiplication, guys, we just simply multiply the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. The same in division, but we cannot divide without changing it into multiplication. And when you do that, you have to have something called the reciprocal of the second fraction, which we're gonna see now. So this is like the basics, and 3 marks are easy to get from here, or even maybe even 4. So when we have here for 3 7 over 15, that's mixed number, plus 1 5 over 6, and you need to show that it's equal to that, and this will give us a clue. The calculator won't be allowed here, even if you do it on a calculator. Where's the working out? So you need to show that. We cannot do anything. We cannot add without changing the mixed numbers into improper fractions. Doing that, here you go. Let's do it together. So 15 times the width. 15 times the width 3, and whatever I get here, I'm going to add it to the 7, and my denominator always stays there. So 15 is fixed there. This is what we're going to get. So when you do, guys, when you do 15 times the width, 3 is going to be obviously 45. So this is going to be 45. Okay, 45. Now the 45 is going to be added to the 7. So 45 is going to be added to the 7. You guys making it as 52. So 3 times it with 15, giving us 45. And we add it to the 7, it was going to be 52. Here you go. Here we have the same thing. This is the same as that one. We just changed it into a fraction form, which is improper because of the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and always when you change a mixed number into a fraction, it gives us something called improper fraction. Plus what? This one here, guys, is really important. 6 times it with 1, and whatever you get, you're going to add it up to the 5, and that's it. So 6 times 1 is going to be 6, obviously, plus 5 is going to be 11, and the denominator stays the same. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to add. No, we cannot add. Here we have different denominators, and I told you earlier that when we have addition or subtraction, we cannot add simply without changing the denominators. So we need to change these into a number that they have in common, okay? So the 6 can be changed into 30. Similarly, the 5 as well, 15 as well can be changed into 30. So 6 multiplied by what to get to 30, which is 5. 15 times it with 2 to get us to 30. In this way, we got the same denominator. It's not quite simple, because whatever you do down, you have to do up to make it balanced. Whatever you do down, you have to do it up to make it balanced. So 2 times it with 52 is going to be obviously 104. 5 times it with 11 is going to be 55. And you're going to add them up all together, okay, making them as 159 over 30. Of course, the only part we add is the numerator part. As for the denominator, we just pick one of them and put it there. And that's it. We're not quite done, actually. We need to show this as this form. So we're going to use something called long division. There are a lot of other ways, but the best way is long division. That's my divisor, and that's my dividend. So I'm going to put my divisor here like always. Dividend is here. Okay, bottom left, top right, and here you go. So sometimes students face problems with this one. It's already, you have it there. Since the value here is 5, it means the number has to be 5 here. 5 times it with 30, obviously 150. Subtract gives me 9. I'm not quite done, actually. The value is 5. It is correct. But the remainder, this one, guys, is what we're going to put on the numerator side. The remainder numerator, so 9 is going to be up there. And the divisor is the denominator, D to D, guys. So that the denominator is going to be as 30. Now, we're not quite done, because we have this form to be showing it like this one here. But we need to simplify further to get the final answer. So we're going to divide both sides by 3, which is going to be 3 over 10. And here we go. I showed how it's been like this. Going to the next. Here we have 3. Let's make the rhythm faster. We have 3/3 divided by 2/5, and we need to show it as this one here. So what we're going to do, we're going to multiply 10 times with 330, add up with 333, divided by 10, like we always do. Multiply and add. Divided by 5 times 2 is 10. plus 2 is 12. So over 5, like we always do. But here we have division, so we need to change something here. We're going to change the division to multiplication. So 33 over 10 over there, as you can see. And when you change this sign into multiplication, you're going to have to change this fraction and make it as reciprocal. We call it reciprocal fraction, meaning the bottom is going to be on the top and the top is going to be on the bottom. So there you go. So 5 over 12. And when you do that, 5 times with 33 is going to be 165. Of course, we don't have to make the same denominator here because it's multiplication. And when you do that, it's going to be 165. And this obviously is going to be 120. And I need to simply make this mixed number, like the question asked me to do. So I'm going to use something called long division, 120 there, 165 there. What is the number I'm going to be looking at here? I'm going to have my clue there. It has to be 1, so I'm going to put 1 there. So 1 times 120 is 120, subtract. What is it going to be here? 165 subtracted by 120 is going to be 45, guys. I'm not quite done. So I'm going to put this as 145 over what? Over 120. So I'm going to simplify this even further to make it similar, looking like 3 over 8. So what we're going to do here, when we look at it, well, it has 5 here and has 0 here, so it's meaning divisible by 5, divide by 5 here, divide by 5 there, divide by 5 there. So it's going to be 9 over what? 120 divided by 5, guys. It's going to be obviously 24, and we're not done. We still need to simplify even further. Divide this by 3 and that by 3. Okay, it's going to be 3 over 8. So 3 over 8. Here you go, like we should work with it. Okay, so you don't just simply stop here. You have to simplify even further. And if you want to skip all these 2 steps, you just simply divide by 15 for each side. Here we're going to convert the decimals into fractions. Actually, this decimal is not normal decimal. It is called a recurring decimal, because 0.18 here is recurring like this, like so. Okay, 18, 18, 18, 18. So it's recurring endlessly because of the 2 dots here above them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this equal to x. So x equals 0.18, 18, 18. And then I'm gonna try to put this 8 sequence here. I'm gonna put it here on the beginning and the 0 side. So to do that, I'm gonna have multiply by 100. So 100 times it with x on the both sides. And this one, when you multiply by 100, it's gonna get you 8.181818. Now I want to get rid of this part, so I'm gonna have to take the original one to do that. So x equals 0.181818. And when you do that, you subtract 100 by 99. 100 minus x is going 100x minus x is gonna be 99x, guys. And this was going to be 80 because these will cancel each other. So we're gonna divide both sides by 99. X will equal 18 over 99, but we need to show it as this one. So we're gonna divide both sides by 9, this by 9, this by 9. It will be then 2 over 11. Here we go. All right, so let's go through some ratio questions. Let's look at the timing. It is quite good enough, I think. We think we did a lot of things. Okay, let's go through the ratio questions, and that's it for this video, okay? So we have a ratio width, okay? Let's see the question. We have a ratio width. The length of a cargo ship is 3:20. The length of the ship is 400 meters. So the length, okay? And so which shares it takes? It takes this one, 20, because the length is taking 20 and the width is taking 3. So 400 will be taking 20 shares, okay? Which is from the ratio there. So we need to work out the width of the ship, okay? Here we go. So this one here is for the length, right? The length of the ship is 400 meters, taking 20 shares. I need to know how much is 1 share, because once I know 1 share, I can change this easily to 3 shares, which is this one. And once I know that 3 shares, how much is actually in meters, I would know my answer, which is the 3 is for the width, so I will know my width. So to do that, so how to make 21, you're going to divide obviously by 20, and whatever you do right, you do left, to divide this by also 20. Here you go. So we're going to do this by 20, divide by 20, okay guys? So it's going to be obviously here 20, and this is going to be 120 meters. So each one share is equal to 120 meters. So that's really important. Now, what I'm trying to find here is the width. And the shares of width is 3 shares of width, okay? I need to find the 3 shares, how much actually. So yeah, how to change the 1 to 3, you multiply by 3. So similarly, you do it on the other side by multiplying by 3. Okay, so when you do that, it's going to be 60 meters. So the length, the width is 60 meters. So you're going to comment on that the length is 60 meters similarly and easily. So you're going to write this, the ship is 60 meters wide. Okay, so let's look at the last one here, last question. Find the ratio of the length of the model to the length of the real ship, okay? Give your answer in the ratio of 1 to n, unitary method here, obviously. So the length here, the length is 400 meters, right? The length is 400 meters. But the length model is 25 centimeters. So in the model is 25 centimeters. In real life is 400 meters. But in model, the model they have is 25 centimeters. So we're going to put this in the ratio, okay? So we're going to put that in the ratio, guys. So we're going to put 25 centimeters into a ratio with 400 meters. But the problem is that they don't have the same unit of measurement, so I need to convert that. And you will know for a fact that when you change from meters to centimeters, of course, you're going to multiply by 100. So it's going to be this one here. Okay, which is going to be 40,000 there. 40,000 what? 40,000, of course, centimeters. And we have 25 centimeters there. And that's it. So, but we need to find the model to the length, the model to the length of the length of the model to the length of the real ship, okay, in the form of 1 to n. So meaning I'm gonna have to divide this by 25 to make it as 1, right? Because it's 1 to something, and you're gonna divide the 40,000 by 25. The trick here is to change the 400 into 400 meters into centimeters. So we're gonna do 40,000, okay, and divide it by 25. Here, guys, here you go. It's gonna be 1,600 centimeters. So for, what this tell me? It's that the for each 1 centimeter in the model is actually equal to 1,600 centimeter in real life, which is actually for each 1 centimeter. It's gonna be what? It's gonna be 16 meters in real life, right? In the model. So for each 1 centimeter is gonna be 16 meters in real life. Okay, thank you for listening, guys. I hope you're the best in your exams. Assalamu alaikum. Nasser out.